Critical factor in our research of winning traders and losing traders was that winning traders appeared to have a systematic approach. In other words, when we analyzed their trades, whether it was technical analysis, fundamentals, making trades after an earnings announcement or after a gap up in the price or after a rally, whatever it was, there seemed to be a system, an approach. This is what winners had, some kind of system. It wasn't always the same system, but there was a system. Whereas with losers, we couldn't discern such a system. They seemed to be opportunistic. Sometimes they were trading based on a particular set of criteria, other times on others. Now, it could be that they just had more mix of systems, but whatever it was, they were discernibly more opportunistic. There didn't seem to be a consistent, focused approach. We also found is with winners, when they won, they tended to win more on average than when they lost. I.e., average winners were bigger than their average losers. Now, you might say, well, that's obvious because they're winners by definition. But it's another way of saying that the number of winning trades they had and the number of losing trades wasn't all that was critical. Even if winners only won and lost 50% of the time, they still were making money. And the reason for that is when they won more than when they lost. So even if they were just using a coin toss, they were able still to make money, because it's another way of saying when they lost, they got out a lot quicker when they were winning, which is when they were holding on to trades. Another thing we also found is wins to losing trades were about 55 to 45 to about 60 to 40. In other words, they're roughly equal. That's for winning traders. They weren't miles ahead. It wasn't that they were right all the time or even 90% of the time, even 70% of the time. Losers, they tended to be, actually, you could have some losers who were right 55 to 45% of the time, but they tended to be wrong and right about roughly the same time. In other words, there wasn't much in it between winners and losers when it came to how many times they won or lost. What was more important was that when they won, the winners tended to win more than when they lost. You could put both in a game where they were both winning and losing exactly the same amount of time, but the winners would still make more money than the losers would. That's, again, a characteristic which we found.